Hey, welcome back, everybody. This is MDawg, and one of my favorite things to do is to make these videos where I watch the new trailer for a new body of water for RF4 with you for the first time. I haven't seen this trailer yet, so I'm going to be watching it with you for my very first time seeing it. This may not be your first time seeing it, but it could be. So either way, we're going to watch this together. And by the way, I am learning. Last time I did one of these, somebody said, yo, MDawg, I don't like how you pause it so much or whatever. Could you just watch the whole trailer all the way through one time before you start pausing it and talking about all the details you're seeing? I'm learning, so we're going to do that this time, okay? It's only a minute something, right? Just over a minute, 8 seconds over a minute. We're going to watch it one time together, and then we'll go back and start over, and I may do a little pausing here and there if there's details that stand out that's worth like discussing or talking about. The first thing I did want to mention quickly, though, is how fast we've gotten this trailer. So if you haven't been around RF4 for a while, or if you don't know, typically when we get the video, the preview trailer, that means we're like within a week or so. Sometimes a week and a half or whatever. But usually it's pretty quick. And remember, it was only a few days ago that we first learned about this water body. But as you can see here, it says imminent release. And we wondered at the time, I'm sure a lot of you wondered this too. I wondered, are they using that language because this is different? This is different than the normal cycle. Normally we get the look over developer shoulder. We get those first like little bits of information. I mean, we didn't get anything about like what new fish are in there or anything. This is just like this. Hey, guess what? There's a new map coming. Well, maybe they've heard the feedback, which my personal opinion is we need as frequent updates as possible for RF4. And, I'd like to think that, as the game becomes a little more and more successful, if it is, I don't really know where we are, but that, the development team increases a little bit and, we're able to see an increase in frequency. But all that being said, my preference is that when you tell us, hey, here's what's coming next, here's some pictures of it, here's some information, that you can count the amount of time until that thing releases in weeks, not in months. Does that make sense? That would be my preference. Now, other people might have a different preference. They might say, nah, if they're working on like, a new carp lake and it's going to be out in a year and a half, well, I'd love to know it. Like, show us your early thoughts. I mean, and maybe there's a different way we could get that kind of information communicated. But like these big announcements like, hey, here's what's coming next. If we then have to, it just gets old if it's just months and months and months. Apparently this time it's not going to be. Apparently this time it's going to be like literally a couple of weeks until release. So today is Thursday, December 16th here in the US. It's in the late afternoon. I'm wondering, are they going to slip this thing out tomorrow on a Friday? Could we have a release of this new water body in one day? Now, that might not be the case. Don't let me get your hopes up. More likely it will be next week, but remember what next week is. Unless they're not doing it this year, next week, next Friday or thereabouts, should be the Christmas/New Year's fair. Unless something's changed this year, but it's been pretty consistent over the years. So are they going to sneak the new water body into the Christmas fair patch? Put it all together? I guess that's possible. But that feels like a lot. You've got like the reoccurring festival thing. You want to make sure that gets out successfully without any glitches. You've also got a whole new water body, right? Do you maybe want to separate those two releases? I don't know. So the skeptic, right? The negative prediction would be, do they wait till the week after? Make sure the fair's steady and then, that first week of January or whatever. I think it'll be sooner than that, but we'll see. All right. Enough talking from me, at least to start off here. Let's watch this video. I've pulled it up on YouTube, and let's make sure we're watching this at least at reasonably high settings. I mean, whatever. All right, I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to mute myself so I can't talk at all. I'm also going to disappear my camera. Maybe we should do, I don't know that that's helpful. Let's do this. All right, folks. It's pretty exciting, huh? One thing I want to say real quick is, here it is. Hopefully you saw the video I made last week when they first announced this, right? But it looks like sorry. Interesting. Leaving early access. All right. So hopefully you saw the video I made on this, but I don't know if you remember, but I looked really closely at this picture, and I thought that this was going to be a new boat. I really did, because this obviously looks like the red boat we're used to, and then this looks like an even different one. And now we know from watching the video, it actually is a new boat. So let's see if there's anything to talk about here. We can't really see the new boat in this picture, so we'll just let it roll. I mean, what's the most important thing about this new map? So there's not a lot of land. It's mostly, going to be a couple of islands and a lot of water. A lot of water. So a lot of time in the boat, I'm assuming. And so I think what's the most important thing, or one of the most important things, is, like someone mentioned in the comments of the last video I made, what are we getting in terms of, like, are we getting some more advanced physics or gameplay implications involving tidal currents, the way the weather impacts things? But, if this is meant to be a little bit more like we're out in the sea, right? Like, you kind of want to feel that, see that, and even experience that in the gameplay. All right, you can kind of see that boat. There's a better picture of the boat, so we'll wait. It's like one little bonsai tree. It's kind of cool. Nothing here. I mean, y'all tell me, what do you think from the way the graphics look? Does this look like a little different in terms of the water? We don't know about current, but in terms of like the size of the waves and kind of the way the water looks, I'm not sure. All right, so there's the boat. What can we say about the boat? I mean, I don't know. It's got two nice rod holders on there. It looks like something that would be a little more equipped compared to the boats we use now to go into, like, deeper waters. And so it looks like a step in the right direction in terms of that. You see the big rod holders on there. I'm not sure there's a whole lot else to say. It'll be interesting to see kind of how it feels to move around in the boat. When you're anchored down, like, can you go stand on the front of the boat to get a little closer to the water up there? What's the physics like on the boat, both driving and standing on it? Because you would think that you're going to be able to move around in this, right? Trying to remember, in our current boats, you cannot move around in it. So I may be wrong on that. You may be stuck. Where are they going to have us? It's just so much bigger than our current boats. Where are they going to put you in that boat where it would feel natural to stand and sit, but stay in the same place? I mean, kind of look at the distance between these rod holders. You almost got to be able to move around. I am correct that those are, it's a rod holder on each side. We don't have a third rod holder, at least that I can see. So the question is, bigger boat, can we put our feeders in these rod holders? Or is it spin fishing only? It's a big question. I don't know the answer. Camp looks pretty normal, right? Ladoga. The Ladoga Islands. All right, this is that same... I mean, I really like the style, though. This is the same, isn't it? This is not the same? Oh, because that boat is just pulled up there. Sorry. See, this is what you get the first time I watch it, is utter confusion. Okay, so this looks like where the boat starts, correct? I mean, probably that's the boat dock, the main boat dock, I'm going to assume. I like the style of these houses up here. I want to get closer to it and really see the detail, but it just looks more realistic to me. I just kind of like the style of all this. I'm curious to see like what shops, do we have a cafe? I mean, all that kind of stuff. Everything just looks like really rustic and like, you know, similar in its style in that little town area, city, town, village, a couple of houses. So there's the boat. And that, I mean, I just think that's got to be the main dock. This is just another random island. I suppose maybe they're just trying to show us like, okay, there's multiple little islands you can get out on. You know, there's one really big, or I shouldn't say really big. There's one larger one, it looks like. And we talked about this in the last video. It looked like there were at least maybe 4 or so that potentially we could get out on. You just never know. My question is, like, wouldn't it be cool if you could catch maybe like frogs or something like out of here? I mean, this looks very small and shallow, right? But what if there was something you could do in that? Maybe? That is like really cool looking. You know, that little structure there. Probably not something that we can actually climb up in, but still a cool looking structure. So it looks like, again, the A boat just has been parked somewhere. I think, again, maybe just trying to communicate to us like, hey, you can get out on different islands and different spots. I think that's all that's saying, really, to me. Although, based on how it works now, this doesn't look like a good place to get out. That could be difficult to get out right there. I don't know. I mean, unless they designed it to where for some reason you can't get out, like if you can't reach those islands for some reason, or if it's too steep or whatever, it appears as though there will be multiple islands we can fish from, not just boats out in the water, right? Oh, this is a close-up. Is that a Coke machine? Is that a soda machine there? Is that what that is? I'm trying to remember what they graphically look like now. Or is that something different? Somebody remind me. Is that something we already have, that structure? But at least we're seeing a little closer view of these shops. So it looks like there's just like a grass on top of the roof. Do people do that? Like intentionally just grow grass on top of a cabin roof like that? Or... is that a thing? I'm sorry, I don't know a lot about architecture or house design or I guess like variety in roofs. Is there a reason why that would be good for a roof? I mean, sure. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, I mean, I just think we've got some houses here, but not really necessarily seeing anything different. Although, like I said, I do like the style. I do like the style. Okay. So what do you think? What do you think? When do you think it'll come out? Does this make you more or less excited? I mean, I think it is fun to see the video of the place to get some confirmation like that boat and stuff like that. But this doesn't give us a whole lot more information than the pictures did. In fact, in some ways, the pictures were more helpful because you saw the depth of everything. And so you're like, ooh, you saw that one map picture. So that gives you, some clues about what kind of map this could be. But, yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Curious to see what your thoughts are, your reactions. I think one of the interesting things is just when is it going to release? When is it going to release and how necessary are conventional reels going to be? How many of the species will reasonably require the strength and spool length of conventional reels? Versus, are you pretty much going to be okay if you have a top of the line spinning reel, top of the line bait casting reel? Are you pretty much going to be okay? I think that's an interesting question that until we get out there and see it. I kind of wish, if it's really coming out this soon, I kind of wish we had a fish species list with this, push of news. And maybe if it doesn't come out, either tomorrow or next week, maybe they will still give us that before they actually hit the button and make it go live. But I'd love to see some new fish species. But how quickly this thing's coming out, I don't know. This might not have a lot of new fish. I don't know. You would think with the deep waters, with the style of the map, feeling like a first prototype towards what would it be like to have a sea map. That's what this seems like, right? I mean, I don't know my geography. It's been a while since I looked up where Ladoga is. I mean, this is based on a real place and, kind of what that looks like on the map. But it's over on I think it's the eastern side of Russia, correct? So I think it might be over there on the... Gosh. Let me see if I can look this up really quick. I keep thinking in my head, this is going to be a small, short video. Let's just watch the video and get out. And here I am looking up Lake Ladoga. Well, that doesn't help. I might be completely wrong. Is this interior Russia? It's the largest lake located entirely in Europe. 14th largest freshwater lake. Why did I think this was connected more directly to saltwater? Is it not? I think I'm completely wrong. I think this is on the western side, if I'm reading this map correctly, which none of these maps have labels on them that I'm seeing at least. So it's not completely clear. But this might not be what I thought it was at all. So this is like the vicinity of St. Petersburg. Sorry about that, guys. So we're more talking about, we're talking about a lake. We're talking about a giant lake. It's not far from the Baltic Sea. Heck, it's not that far from the Barents Sea, but it's an interior lake, just sort of, right? Almost exclusively in Russia. It's like the Northwest. Okay, anyway, so maybe that changes a little bit of what I'm saying here. I'm spouting off info that's maybe not correct. Bottom line is, in terms of the game, I do just want to know what fish are going to be in this new map. Is there anything new? They could just do larger sizes of some of the species we're already familiar with, and that probably will be the case to a degree, but surely we'll get a couple of new things, wouldn't you think? So we'll see. Hey, guys, thanks for watching. I really want to see what you're thinking about this. Are you excited? Does this bring you back if you've been taking a break? Does this, get you excited about leveling if you're thinking okay, this is going to be a high-level map, which, by the way, it probably will be. I mean, let's be honest. This isn't going to be an alternative to Old Berg or something. This is pretty high level here. Does this get your juices flowing? Let me know what you think. As always, thanks for watching. I'm going to continue my leveling series, and obviously, the minute this thing drops, we'll be checking it out and trying to give you some updates and at least my impressions, and I want to hear your impressions too. Thanks for watching. Tight lines, everybody.